I began my previous video with an apology. I feel like I need to apologize again because this video will be somewhat self-indulgent. But this is essentially the topic, so it will be fine. I had made 4 videos on what I consider to be the key points in Donald Hoffman's book, The Case Against Reality. I dove right into the meat of the matter. What problem was he trying to solve? What solution did he find? And why does it work? I neglected to tell you why I think his findings are important and how it relates to psychology and personality types. Having recognized the errors of my way, I added all that at the very end. I noticed this problem about 2 videos in, and I also noticed that this was a perfect example of how my specific type plays out. I've known my type for 2.5 years now, and making this video showed me again that I cannot not act it out while being completely unaware of it in the moment. In case you don't know, my full OPS type is double feminine TISE consume sleep play blast. If you don't know what that means, I put links to the Objective Personality website and their YouTube channel in the description. Essentially, the type contains a description of what I feel responsible for and what I'm afraid of. It tells me what default beliefs I project onto the world that my perception creates. Based on that, it also implies a prediction of how I will behave. It tells me that my mind is concerned with what works and what is true, and wondering why it works and why it is true. It also tells me that I avoid paying attention to what and why something is important. It's not where my mind tends to go by default, and it's not what I communicate to others. I know all this about myself, at least in theory. In practice, I cannot not follow the pattern that my type describes without being aware that I do it, although I know the pattern. I recognize what I did midway through, and I try to fill the void. In the end, I gave all the reasons first and concluded with a discussion on the value. And this is exactly what my type is supposed to do. I would like to claim that I did all that on purpose, that it was my grand calculated plan from the start. Alas, but no. I simply cannot not be my type, a nerdy blockhead who forgets about the meaning under the surface. But since I presented you a genuine example of how my type and my mind works, I can also say, you're welcome. In my last video, I talked about the value of outside feedback. It plays an essential role in getting out of your own head and closer to objective reality. With those videos, I created something outside of myself, and this gave me feedback. It allowed me to see myself a bit more clearly. It felt embarrassing, but it also gave me an opportunity to learn and grow. It showed me, again, that knowing your type is just the beginning of your journey. It takes a lot of practice and repetition and feedback to battle your fears and to grow. Next time, I'll start with why. Maybe. Who knows?